going on? Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Boys Crypto Show. Let's get our lighting on here. Can't forget that beauty light, you know what I'm saying? Woo! Look at that. Looks very, very good. Wow, what a day that we had in the cryptocurrency market. Fell asleep feeling very, very good about the trades. Woke up and it's devastation in the market for Ethereum and a lot of the major altcoins in the top 10. Yet we see some hot players, Sui, MakerDAO, Pepe, Jasmine, a lot of the meme coins getting a massive pump today. What in the world is that about? What's going on? Radium making a little bit of recovery. Hyperliquid continually getting demolished. What is going on in the market? XRP, one of the strongest coins in the game, one of the biggest red bubbles today. Movement, the biggest green bubble yesterday. Lo and behold, the biggest red bubble today. That happens all the time here in the market. Everybody take a big deep breath with me. All our trades are longer term swing trades, everybody. We are underwater on these trades, but the plan is with these trades to add to them as we go down in the event that we do get further downside action for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is looking good here on the 15-minute time frame, just cracking above that 200 MA, looking to move further to the upside, as well as a lot of these other altcoins that have been struggling. Ethereum getting a nukage today, making a bit of a recovery, just getting above that 1 hour 200 SMA. We're gonna dive into it all, everybody. We're gonna dive into it all, break it down piece by piece so we understand, we grasp the market, and we know what we're going into the rest of the week coming up. We have a major news event tomorrow, the initial jobless claims. These are the events that are going to move the market and provide us directional bias. Here we have the initial jobless claims and the personal income and personal spending coming in on Friday, baby, both of which are at 8:30 in the morning on Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to everybody who's diving on in with us here. We got Cash Cock in the chat, man. What's going on? And April. All right, let's get this monster cracked. Woo! Take a breath, everybody. Yes, there is low volume. There's low volume in the market. Not a lot of trading going on. Listen, this has been a wild market. Let's pull up the volume here. When you want to add volume to your chart, all you do is type in volume. You can type in volume and you get this indicator here on the bottom of your screen. And you can see as you zoom on out here on the daily, you can see how much volume is being traded on any asset or any coin. It's a lot like the VRVP, but the VRVP shows where the volume has exchanged hands at certain prices. The volume indicator at the bottom shows net volume that is traded day by day. As you can see, with falling price here, we've had falling price on Bitcoin and a lot of these cryptos, right? Falling price on Bitcoin, we also have falling volume. When there's falling volume, that does show us that there is likely a big move coming in the market as less people are selling and less people are buying Bitcoin. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now, and that makes sense ever since the tariff announcements back here, so that we've been having decreased volume in the market in regards to cryptocurrencies and the stock market in general. The NQ getting absolutely beaten down today. The S&P getting absolutely wrecked. Good day to you. Send it to the moon. Thank you for being here, man. What's going on? Thank you for spending your Wednesday night here with me on the Boys Crypto Show. Shout out to you guys. We are in the mix right now. Bitcoin, we're going to start what we do every single day. We took a little glance at the bubbles. We'll come out in the boobles. We'll come back to this. We're going to dive on into Bitcoin getting these daily candle closes above the 200 MA. With all the price action, all the choppiness, we need to take a breath and realize that this is a very, very good sign for Bitcoin here in the near term. The likelihood of us continuing upward increases each and every single day that Bitcoin closes here above that daily 200 MA. The last time we started closing candles above the daily 200 MA was over here. And once we started getting those closures and the 21 cross, we got a moonshot to the upside. Back here, we started closing candles above the daily 200. Couple candles above the daily 200 and we moon to the upside. You don't want to fall below the daily 200. That's what we did, and we reclaimed it with a very, very bullish sign. Very, very bullish sign. We get above the daily 200, close a couple candles, and boom, to the upside, and you never look back. This red line is a key indicator whenever you are looking at Bitcoin and the macro. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin here on the larger time frames. Are we out of the water? Absolutely not. The shaking in this market is absolutely crazy. It feels like the market is like when the women are giving birth, when they're on their bed and they got their legs up in the stirrups like this. They got their legs up in the stirrups and they say, right? They know something beautiful is coming, but there may be a little bit of pain, short-term turbulence in the near term, and that's what we've been getting today on these altcoins. A lot of redistribution in the market. It's actually curious to me seeing that as Bitcoin dumped and pumped, a lot of assets did not respond the same way. That's telling me that the altcoin market is in a little bit of a frenzy here, and money's being distributed around the market unevenly, and that's very, very strange. Ethereum being one of the biggest losers of the day, down 1.8% so far. We'll see if that can turn around. We have some of the stronger projects down. Well, we have the meme coins up. When was the last time we've seen that? We talked about that on the channel, though. We did talk about a potential squeeze to the upside for meme coins. Dogecoin getting a massive move from 19 cents all the way up to over 20 cents again. A massive move for Dogecoin. Shiba Inu. You have Pepe. Some of the biggest memes in the game getting that massive move that a lot of people have been waiting for. Is that going to continue? We're going to dive on into it today. Bitcoin, baby. That's what we were looking at for Bitcoin, getting these daily candle closures above the 200 MA. The candle that we just formed just 3 hours ago is currently forming, and the candle doesn't close for another 21 and a half hours, currently forming a bullish engulfing candle. Whenever you form a bullish engulfing candle, it is a very, very bullish sign on the charts. The last bullish engulfing we had was right here before we went on a monumental rocket shot. Rocket shot 5% to the upside for Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves like that, the altcoins will likely follow. Now, Bitcoin dominance, I'm just speculating here. Based off of how the altcoins are responding, I think Bitcoin dominance is taking a little bit of a moonshot right here. We'll dive on into that in a little bit. But that's what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. On the 15-minute, Bitcoin reclaiming that 15-minute 200 MA with a pending cross. I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin throughout the night crack this high here of about 88.9, 88.9. It can happen, and it can happen very fast. Why? Because we're getting this cross, this golden cross here on the 15-minute time frame. We got done consolidating here. We are still consolidating. That is true. But we're just forming this big wedge here. We're forming this big parallel channel after a move to the upside. Whenever you start consolidating like this, equal buyers, equal sellers, you're forming some high volume nodes right here. You could treat this as a flag looking to move to the upside. A more conservative target, if you just want to take the wedge, you can take the target of the wedge and go to the upside or to the downside, whatever suits your fancy right there. But here we have a high volume node sitting down at about $84,000. We don't want to see that touch, but the buy pressure here has been absolutely mind-blowing for BTC. We'll see if we can get that squeeze to the upside, everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Send Nasty Kid Reviews. Welcome on in. Reviews, I appreciate you dropping that comment on my video today, brother. I am gonna play around with the Mitra Resolve, and I am going to play around with that program and see if I like it better than Canva, which is where I've been doing my editing on my videos. So I greatly appreciate that, man. I didn't realize that volume thing was an issue, and you're an absolute legend for pointing that out. I need that constructive criticism from you guys. I appreciate it. All right, yeah, and I did pull it up on my phone, and I was like, wow, like you'll be watching the intro, and then that song just comes boom blaring through the mic, and I almost dropped my phone, man. It was crazy, but I haven't gone through back on my phone. I've just been looking at on the computer, so I greatly appreciate that. Man. Sin Nasty Kid, what's going on? What's going on, family? Hey, how you doing? All right, so hey, here we are in the 15-minute time frame, getting that squeeze for Bitcoin above there. We have the pending cross coming, a very good sign for Bitcoin continuation to the upside throughout the night. I think that is very likely. Let's dive on over into Bitcoin dominance and see what we're looking at here. BTC.D, Bitcoin dominance on a mooner, baby, on a mooner over the course of the day. Yeah, this has been a wild day for Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance bounced off that 4-hour 200 SMA and got a rocket shot to the upside. It was almost, what, a 0.5% or so, and Bitcoin just stealing the show. That does not change. That does not change our macro thesis here. This does not change our macro thesis. Yes, you could say, oh, we're consolidating here. This is going to be a wedge that breaks up. Rising wedges do break down 60% of the time. You could also view this as a bull pennant. There's a lot of ways that you could look at Bitcoin dominance, and that's what confuses a lot of traders here on the smaller time frames. I am not confused on Bitcoin dominance. I am not confused on Bitcoin dominance again. I am not confused. I'll say that again on Bitcoin dominance. We have been talking about this on this channel, this inverted cup and handle coming up to the 618786. We did dive deep into that with that shooting star pattern that shows weakness to Bitcoin dominance to me. We have daily bearish divergence. We have weekly bearish divergence here as we have that swing down on the RSI while we have that swing up in price action. Though it's a percent right here over on the side, it does work the same as price action, right? So we have that swing up, but we have that swing down. That's weekly bearish divergence. We have the daily bearish divergence. We'll clean this up. We have that daily bearish divergence as well. Coming up to the 618786 golden pocket retrace out of that inverted cup and handle. This bearish divergence getting very, very strong for Bitcoin dominance here in the near term. You have that swing up on price action here, and even if we squeezed up here and RSI couldn't break this convergent line, which it has not yet, I am speculating on a rollover. That's what the bearish divergence says, that we'll crack this line here before we come up and we test this area at about 64.5. I think that is very likely. I'm going to get the volume data out of here. Yeah, I think that is very, very likely for Bitcoin dominance to get this rollover. Shout out to you, Lily. Thank you for jumping on in. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen here for Bitcoin dominance based off of this bearish divergence on the daily, the bearish divergence on the weekly. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with divergence, I did just make a video yesterday talking about what I look for whenever I'm diving into bullish or bearish divergence. And something else that's been glaring to me on the chart of a lot of these bigger altcoins, I'll pull that up in just a second. So we have bearish divergence on the daily, bearish divergence on the weekly, the inverted cup and handle coming up to the 618786 bearish retracement. Not only that, but we have a giant gap here in the VRVP beneath us, supporting that likelihood of a dump to the downside. We're waiting on that 200 MA dominoes to start. It has not started yet, everybody. It has not started. We've still been chopping here. We've been chop city in here for the past couple weeks since March 10th. What is it, the 24th now? We've been chopping in this range of about 61. We've been in that 60-61 percentile for Bitcoin dominance for the past few weeks here. So we really have not changed much in Bitcoin dominance. I am seeing massive weakness. Let's do this. Let's flip this upside down, baby. Let's flip this upside down. One of my favorite things to do in the chart, the cup. Woo! Let's do it on the weekly. We have the cup, baby. We have the cup. And we have the handle to the downside with that gap in the VRVB coming down to where I would be likely to enter trades here on Bitcoin dominance. That's why we're speculating on longs here. That's why all of our longs on our leverage positions are in altcoins. Because once this reverses, it will be the biggest altcoin squeeze that we've ever seen in our lives. I'll put the trader stamp on it. Now, everything's not going to be a winner, but the winners in the space, real world assets, smart contracts, things of that nature, things that provide real world utility, maybe a handful of meme coins, anything could happen. But when this market gets rolling in the altcoins and money starts rolling out of Bitcoin, which is 2 to 3 times bigger than back in 2021 when the alt season happened, this is going to be a mind-blowing rally. And this is an inverted chart, just so everybody knows, back to normal. The inverted cup and handle, your cup, and you have your handle here on Bitcoin dominance coming back to that 618786 bearish retracement to the downside for Bitcoin dominance. Very, very likely we have bearish divergence on the daily. We have bearish divergence on the weekly. Bearish 618786 with a giant gap in the VRVP. Woo! That looks hot for Bitcoin dominance, baby, to dive to the downside. I've never seen this many bearish indicators flashing on a chart in a long time, on the weekly and on the daily time frames, screaming at us that this is the top, and everybody's all Bitcoin maxis. The charts have not confirmed that. The charts will confirm that Bitcoin is going to steal the show and be on a super cycle once we crack these highs right here, up to about 70%. And yes, once we crack that, we could be looking at a 90-95% Bitcoin dominance, because there's no resistance up here besides here at about 79 and 89. These would be your resistance zones once you crack that that high, this initial high right here, that has served as resistance for the past few years, ever since this chart was in the inception of this chart, 2019 and 2021. Can we get back up there in 2024? Sure, anything's possible, but right now I have to go with what the charts are saying. Inverted cup and handle, 618786 bearish retracement to the downside with the giant gap in the VRVP and the bearish divergence on the weekly and on the daily. Very, very key when you're looking at Bitcoin dominance. Don't get caught up in the hype, everybody. Don't get caught up in the hype. Let's dive on into the chat here. See what you guys are saying. Michaela, what's going on? Just Crispy, how you doing? Yeah, we'll check out hype for you, man. Has Pi changed at all? Is still looking for dump for price discovery? We will dive into Pi. Send it to the moon. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Starting from the top here, let's dive on into the altcoins, baby. Let's dive on into the altcoins hyper liquid. The first one from Crispy. I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate you being here. Hyper liquid. Wow, what a monumental move for hyper liquid from its inception down to the depths here. Now, hyper liquid, let's get this out of here. Fresh analysis, everybody. Let's get a sip of the monster and let's dive in and find the hottest setups. These things are going to give me kidney stones, everybody. I know it. You guys will know it too. Maybe I'll put that on the live stream. You guys want to hear me screaming when I'm peeing out my first kidney stone? Here we go. All right. Hyper liquid. We did speculate on a fib pull here, if we remember, back on hyper liquid from swing low to swing high, and we did get that reaction off of the golden pocket here, the 786 to the upside. That was a nice move here for hyper liquid of about 23%. Was not able to hold that 786. We fell beneath. We tested the 886, fell beneath, and now we're kind of in no man's land with hyper liquid, going on kind of a price discovery tour to the downside. Now, I will say this. Over the past day, look at this bounce for hyper liquid. We had a massive drop off. This bounce for hyper liquid was a monumental move of about 20%, and that happened since this morning, just in the last 10 hours this was a massive move for hyper liquid of about 20% since this morning to the upside for hyper liquid. So let's pull out our Fibonacci and see what happened here. So from swing low to swing high here, we did come down to the 886 area. That was a little bit of a deeper retrace than I would have speculated, but here we are on the 1 hour time frame, and we have to look at the 1 hour because there's not a lot of price action back here in this range since its inception. This is the highest volume node area you have on hyper liquid. I will say this, your odds of squeezing to the upside are relatively high for hyper liquid. Well, why, boys crypto? Why? Because there's a giant gap here in the VRVP to the upside to about that $20 zone. I think that is very likely that this does get tested. Let's see what this Fibonacci pull from the swing high to the swing low is. Yeah, we didn't even get that 618, 786 retest here on hyper liquid. So based off of being above the high volume node right here and getting this massive bounce here on just today, I think you can start playing 200 MA dominoes to the upside, which you've already started to play. Our favorite game, right? We're at the 5-minute 200 SMA. Everybody knows who watches this channel and knows how to play 200 MA dominoes. Once you cross a 200 MA, the likelihood of coming up and at least testing the next one increases tenfold. So we are above the 5. We're coming up to the 7. You're going to ping pong around in here until price closes a candle above or below one of the two, below the 5 or above the 7. You close above the 7, the likelihood of coming to the 15 increases dramatically, which is up here at about 1568. Then you start gapping through that VRVP, and as long as you do not come up and reject at the 786, you can speculate on further upside action for hyper liquid. The 786 618 area for hyper liquid, based off of this move, you're just breaking above the 618. That's looking good. Coming up to the 786 at about 15.5. This is going to be an area of heavy resistance. Well, why? Because you have the 618, 786 to 786 being your bearish retrace here to the downside. If you are going to get further downside price action, you have your 15-minute 200 MA, which is going to serve as resistance, and you have that 1568 level here that you are going to be looking at, that prior support resistance flip. So that's what I would be looking at for hyper liquid here in the near term, baby. In the near term, looking for a squeeze up for hyper liquid, and a lot of these altcoins I think have been absolutely beat to the ground, bent over the barrel, and shown the 50 states, baby. Massive pain for the altcoins. I think this is, listen, everybody, we're speculating here on this channel. I called the bottom for alts, and I stand by that. On total 3. Altcoins are done dumping, in my opinion. They're done. We've seen massive pain in the altcoin market. Bitcoin dominance is screaming to me. If I've ever been right on any chart ever, right, and we've been right a lot on this channel, Bitcoin dominance is my most convicted play of any play that I that I put out on X or anything. Bitcoin dominance is my number one convincing, most convinced play that I have right now for you guys, based off of the macro bearish sentiment that I'm seeing, macro bearish indicators, the 618-786 bearish retracement out of the inverted cup and handle with the weekly and daily bearish divergence and the giant gap in the VRVP below us. I know that mentally because I've never seen it before. I've never seen that many bearish indicators overlap before. I think the altcoins are going to get a monumental squeeze to the upside here in the near future, and Hyperliquid just taking a run to the upside right now. Looks very good. That's what I'm seeing on Hyperliquid. JaCrispy, thank you for dropping that in. Let's look at Pi. Pi has been getting beat down over the past few days. Where is it at here? Pi, baby. Whoa. It's nice to see some green after today, right? Pi currently sitting at 24 in market cap at 5.43 billion. Yeah, let's dive on into Pi Network, baby. Pi Network. Pi, baby. Pi. All right, Pi. Getting absolutely dumped on. Listen, Pi, I think Pi could do some damage. I really do. I think it has some, it does have some potential. However, I will say this. The amount, the big basis behind Pi, I'm kind of against. I'm going to speculate here just for a minute. The ads that they're putting out on Twitter, I totally disagree with. I disagree with, Pi, the next Bitcoin, it's going to go to, they put out 300 and, what's 3.14159? It's going to go to $314,000 and 150. Impossible. Not going to happen. I'm just getting speculative of that. I just don't think it's impossible. It's impossible. There's not enough money in the market to make this asset do that. There is not, and not even close. I don't even know if there's enough money in the world to make this asset get to that price target based off of the circulating supply. You are a newer asset. You are a newer asset that just came out here on TradingView, and you've been on this dumperooski to the downside. You are forming a bit of a falling wedge here, a falling wedge, baby. Falling wedges do break up 60% of the time, and you're getting tight. You're getting very, very tight in here. I do like this bullish divergence that I'm seeing here on the 4 hour. Let's zoom on in here and take a look at this. The bullish divergence on the 4 hour. So we have that falling wedge. Let's get this out of here. And we have this bullish divergence on the 4 hour. The bullish divergence is near the bottom line after a confirmed 4 hour close here that got that squeeze to the upside for the RSI. So yes, this bullish divergence is confirmed, saying that you are likely, before you crack this low at about 77 cents, you are likely to come up here and break the $1.16 level. I'm not saying that's going to happen for Pi, but the charts are screaming that this is highly, highly likely based off of this daily bullish divergence, I like what I'm seeing for Pi here for a squeeze to the upside. However, I don't know exactly how many people hold the top like 50% of the amount of the supply that's in the network. I know this thing can get mined over and over and over again on your phone. I do know that the inflationary aspect of it, just based off that, even if it's limited supply, if you could mine it for free on your phone, which from my understanding that you can, I don't think it's the strongest coin in the game. I did make a video on Pi and where I think it could go. Feel free to check that out. But I think you're in for some turbulence here. You're here for some turbulence on Pi Network. Now, I will say this, the squeeze, look at the squeeze to the upside after you had some dumpage here on Pi of about 33% a day. Is a move like that likely for Pi? You could get a massive squeeze here for Pi Network. Zooming on out here, you do have a massive high volume node sitting right here at about $1. That psychological resistance, and that high volume node is there to confirm it, that people were selling and buying a lot of Pi here at the $1 level. At the $1 level, a key area you want to mark on your chart here for Pi. That's what I'm looking at for Pi. I'm speculating on a short-term squeeze to the upside based off of this 4 hour bullish divergence. On the daily, you have nothing yet. There's not a lot of data that we have to go off of unless we were to go over on the Dex screener. So that's what I'm looking at for Pi Network, baby. Pi Network for a squeeze to the upside out of this 4 hour bullish divergence. 4 hour bullish divergence that has been confirmed. You have your mark line crossing your signal line. If you zoom on in here, we can see that. You see this purple line crossing the yellow line. That's a very, very good sign line, the last time we had that happen was back here when we had that massive squeeze to the upside. You cross to the downside, you had a massive dump. That's how the RSI indicator works. That's why if people who just trade with the RSI indicator, they just look at that purple and yellow line and they say, I'm in and I'm out. People do that. I'm not that kind of trader. That's not what I use the RSI to determine bullish and bearish divergence and to develop a bias and to see if there is a reversal coming. But this is telling me that the selling pressure is decreasing and the buying pressure is increasing. That's what this 4-hour bullish divergence is telling me. All right, diving on in, baby. Diving on in. We looked at Hyperliquid. We looked at Pi for a squeeze to the upside. Let's look at Ethereum, baby. Ethereum. Ethereum, we are currently long on Ethereum, calling the bottom for Ethereum. I think Ethereum has bottomed out here, and I will tell you why. Looking out on the daily. Let's look at this on the daily. Yes, before anybody says it, yes, I know this looks a little flaggy. I get it. Let's look at this on the daily. On this dump, on this massive capitulation dump to the downside, we were supported by the second most high volume node on the chart. Is there potential to come down further? Yes. Do I want to see that? Absolutely not. Our longs do not want to see that. However, based on the bullish divergence that is formed here on the daily, which is steep, baby, which is steep. I'm just speculating here with different parallel channels and things like that that can form over time. So I'm going to get rid of this here. There is a downward sloping resistance. I think this was on the 4-hour, was it not? Yeah, on the 4-hour time frame. So we're consolidating here, getting to the end of this symmetrical triangle that I'm seeing here on the 4-hour. And you're also forming a rising channel here. I wouldn't be surprised to get a retest here and break above the 4-hour 200 SMA is screaming down in our direction. Once Ethereum cracks that 4-hour 200 SMA, we're currently above the 1-hour. We're going to likely come and test it. We're above the 1, the 2, and we're testing the 3-hour right here. We start closing above the 3-hour, we are very likely to go and test the 4. We break the 4, we're going to get above the symmetrical triangle, and boom, baby, we have not been above the 4-hour 200 SMA on Ethereum since we were up here at $3,300. I have to speculate on a long here for Ethereum, a crack below this daily bullish divergence here, to me, is screaming that could be the end. That could be the, I don't want to say all doom and gloom. But if this bullish divergence, this strong bullish divergence, this massive swing down on price action while we have our swing up on the RSI, if this gets invalidated, that will be an incredibly bearish sign. Whenever you invalidate bearish divergence, that's an incredibly bullish sign. It works the same way. It works the same exact way with bullish divergence. If it gets invalidated on a massive time frame like the daily, it is likely that you are going to get that massive capitulation dump to the downside. And at that point, I'm out of the trade. I'm out. The trade will be absolutely eviscerated, and that's it for Ethereum. I won't be touching that again. I do own Ethereum. I own Ethereum on spot. I have Ethereum leverage positions open. That's what we're looking at for a long-term swing play here on Ethereum. Based off of that bullish divergence that is telling us we are likely to break that 25,554 level, $2,554 level before we break this 1750 level. That's what I'm looking at here for Ethereum. The reversal call for Ethereum, we are going to test, highly likely that we are going to test this 4-hour 200 SMA. The gap here in the VRVP is monumental. It is massive here. The next high volume node you have is up here at about $2,700 after that massive dump off period that we had here for Ethereum, even after that massive capitulation event. We're trading at levels that the bottom was caught during that massive liquidation event. Very interesting here. Very interesting. Ethereum testing that key support resistance flip. We get above this level, everybody. We get above this level. Let's clear this up here. We'll zoom on out here on the daily. We get above this level, and this is currently a support resistance flip. Ethereum has used this level as support 3 times. You've had it once, you've had it almost twice there, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times on the massive dump that we had back here on not only the biggest liquidation event we had in crypto history, but the tariff news that did serve as support. We fell beneath it, and now we're teasing with it again. If we can confirm that, if we could flip this and confirm it as support and that bounce right there will be the monumental, looking like the bottom entry for Ethereum. You get a bounce off of this level. Look at these bounce reactions that you had for Ethereum. 32%. This one was more massive than that. This was a 43% for Ethereum. And from here, you did get that almost bounce here on that support region, and you went on the monumental bull run of 2024 all the way up to $4,000. And we have to remember, Ethereum traded at $4,000 just a few months ago. I think it is very likely that we do revisit the all-time highs for Ethereum. The sentiment is at the bottom. The last time the sentiment was this low on Ethereum was during the FTX crash, and that was right here. That was right here. The FTX, or no, that wasn't right here. Hold on. Yeah, that was right here. This was the FTX Sam Bankman-Fried crash, was it not? I believe that was. But yeah, Ethereum getting massively undervalued here. I think Ethereum is going to go on a monumental rocket shot to the upside. I think we will retest the highs, but the first things first, we have to reclaim these lows. We have to reclaim this support level for Ethereum for that bounce to the upside. I do see a reversal here for Ethereum. We haven't had bullish divergence for him the entire way until now. Until now, this entire dumpage period. Look at this. The RSI, we haven't created a higher low. Have not created a higher low. Not a higher low. Not up. Right there, the high volume node. It's like that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio when he's sitting back in his chair. Oh, I can't whistle. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Yes, that's what I'm looking at here for Ethereum. We caught that bullish divergence, and we're going to run this to the upside. A long-term swing position we're in here for Ethereum. We plan on running this back to about $3,000, everybody. $3,000. I think that is very, very likely for Ethereum. And even if we do not get there, we'll be taking profits up along the way up this 618, 786 area, but $3,000. The 786 sits at about $3,100, $3,077. So that's what I'm looking at for even if we're bearish on Ethereum, it's likely we come up and make another lower high on Ethereum. That's what I'm looking at, and I think that this asset is massively undervalued. Donald Trump, World Liberty Financial, holds $500 million worth of Ethereum. If this thing was gonna nuke to oblivion, why would he hold that much? Why would he hold that much Ethereum? I'm just speculating. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at here for Ethereum, baby. For Ethereum, also massive upgrades coming for April for Ethereum and the smart contract platform. But the charts say reversal, just like on a lot of the other altcoins. Let's dive on into Orn for Sin Nasty Kid. Thanks for jumping on in, man. Thanks for jumping on in. Orn. Orion Protocol. I remember this thing. I remember that it was, yeah, this thing had some massive moonshot candles, and it used to trade pretty high too, didn't it? Yeah, back up here at about $13. Look at this chart. This is absolutely crazy. Orion trading below the bear market levels here at about, at about 87 cents. Currently trading at 52 cents, back to the bear market lows. Now, a lot of people are going to be fearful here, considering that we can potentially go on the price discovery to the downside. Do we have any major bullish divergence here that could kick us out of here? You did at one point, but it's already been validated, right? This swing low to swing high, it was already validated. So whenever bullish divergence gets validated, it states that you're going to crack from this swing low to the swing high on the RSI. You're going to crack this high here when you get that curvature to this. You're going to crack this high before you crack this low. And lo and behold, or this high before you crack this low right here formed on the RSI. So that's what the bullish divergence says, and you did do that with this wick. It does not say there's going to be a candle body closure, but it says the wick could get there, and you did. So you would have to go based off of the assumption that you have a reset stochastic or a reset RSI indicator right now. That's what I'm looking at. You are forming a high volume node right here. Let's zoom on out and get a cleaner picture. You are forming a high volume node. This does show buy pressure. However, there's not a lot of history that goes with this besides this couple of months here that you serve, a couple weeks, 2-3 months of price action where this high volume node is set. This is your last line in the sand for Orion Protocol, baby. This is the line in the sand for Orion Protocol for a squeeze to the upside. You could potentially get a squeeze all the way up to about that 67 cent level, that next high volume node that you have here on the VRVP. Let's zoom on in here. Yeah, the daily looks for a reversal here for Orion Protocol. You can say that this is based off the bullish divergence, but that was already satisfied. I like sticking with the coins where bullish divergence has not yet fulfilled. has not yet fulfilled, because I know that's just another thing I have in my arsenal backing me in my thesis to the upside. So Orion, you are sitting on key support. This area has served as a massive bounce zone before, and this could be one of the monumental opportunities to get into this asset. You were on price discovery to the downside here, and when it caught, you got a reversal to the upside that was absolutely face melting. You made mind-blowing, life-changing money if you had the courage to get into Orion down here. You multiplied your investment by 566% gain for Orion the last time we touched these levels. If you do believe in the project, and I don't know a lot about the project, I don't know about Orion protocol. What I do know is that this is an area that has that has served as a reversal zone before, and this area is a support level until proven otherwise. So what would prove this support level is invalidated? A close below this 4680 level. And even if you did speculate on a long here, if you speculated on a long for Orion and you got in, I would look at the smaller time frames for a better entry. You can put a stop below this low and you can go 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1. If you're speculating on going back to the highs, that could be one of the most immaculate trade opportunities that we see this bull cycle, if the bull cycle is to continue. So that's what I'm seeing for Orion protocol. You need a bounce, and you need it soon. You do not want to go on that price discovery to the downside. I wouldn't even say candle body closure. You get below on price action on the 46.66 level, the 46 cent level. You get below that and you are likely going to dump, and you're going to dump hard. That will ensue panic in the market. It's like when Bitcoin breaks its all-time high and it starts running up really massively. That is the same way for the downside. Let's see if we inverted this. If we looked at this and you had a break to the upside, would this not be a blue skies breakout? This is what I talk about when I talk about price discovery to the upside or to the downside. You just invert it and it's just like looking for a long. So that's what I'm looking at for Orion protocol, baby. For Orion protocol from Sin Nasty Kid. Thank you for dropping that on into the chat, man. Thank you for dropping that on into the chat. Let's pull up the chat here. Gonna refresh this thing. Gotta find another way to get the chat up besides this phone, baby. Besides this phone. This phone's been playing tricks on me. It's been playing games. All right, there we go. Oh, we are up to date. Last thing from Sin Nasty Kid on ORN, baby. ORN, Orion protocol. That's what we're looking at for Orion protocol. Let's take a look at bubbles here. Let's take a look at bubbles here. It's nice to see some green here. Oh my gosh, it is nice to see it after the day that we've had movement, getting the absolute nukage to the downside. Let's pull up movement. We did it. This was our biggest winner yesterday. This was the biggest winner yesterday with a monumental push to the upside, and we were speculating here. We still have the lines here from yesterday. After a move like that, you need to speculate. Once you make that new higher high, you need to speculate. And okay, not financial advice. I speculate on a retracement to that where the next higher low is going to come in, or likely to come in, and we are getting that retracement down to the 618786. Sets up a very nice cup and handle, baby, to the 618786 region. More risky getting into the 6187 or at the 786 here. More risky getting in at the 786 at about 47 cents. But a lot of people do like to use this strategy where they'll get in at the 618786 right here. They'll take the long position. They'll get in at the 618786 and use the entire golden pocket as defense. And you would have that 4-hour 200 SMA to support you as well. You put this below here, you go 2 to 1, and that would be a very, very valid trade. It wouldn't even get you back to the high, which I would speculate would be broken here if you did have a move to the upside from this golden pocket, because you did change market structure, making your first higher low, higher high. This is speculatively going to be your area for the next higher low. So a move here to get in at the 618 would not be a bad idea. I'm going to set an alert here on Pi Network at the 618. I like that. I might look for a long here on movement. I might look for a long here on movement to the upside out of this cup and handle. That would also set up the shoulder head, right shoulder scenario here as we clear this out. We do have the daily bullish divergence that did get played out here. I think this was the daily bullish divergence, was it not? Yeah, the daily bullish divergence. Look at that played out. We had that swing down on price action. Well, we had the swing up here on the RSI indicator. Let's zoom on in here so we can see that. We had the swing down on price action. Well, we have that swing up on the RSI indicator saying that we're going to crack this high here, this high back here. Whoop. Why do we put this line here? This high here, oh, there we go. This high here before we crack this low, and lo and behold, look at that wick. We've fulfilled that daily bullish divergence. This looks like the beginning to me of a squeeze for the altcoins. This changed the market structure for movement here on the macro, on the daily. I love what I'm seeing here for movement. I think a retrace in this golden pot. I'm not bearish, but I'm looking for the highest probability entries. And to me, I know that is between the 618 and the 786 here on your Fibonacci, right? And I pulled that from the swing low of the first higher low that we made in the set to the swing high, the first higher high that we've had in the set, speculating on a new lower or higher low coming in here on the movement chart, baby. Movement looks good to the upside, looks good for movement. All right, April wants to dive on in the fart coin. I know she's trolling me. Because I know she knows something. She probably pulled up crypto bubbles here. I did see Fartcoin was on a massive tear. Yeah, this week up 100%, this 50% this week. Let's pull up Fartcoin for you, April. Fartcoin, everybody, the new Bitcoin. Fartcoin going to change the world. You know, you get into this coin, and this thing is going to do some absolute damage. You're looking at $100,000, $200,000 price target. No, I'm just kidding. I don't despise it. I can't say that. But I was sitting at my mother-in-law's house, and I said, you know, all the research that I do in crypto, all the trading, and my entire portfolio that I've spent hundreds of hours calculating, like looking at each individual asset, making sure that my investments are as rock solid as possible. And I see this giant bubble. It looked like this on the screen in the 100 to 200. And I think it was even up at the top, in the top 100 at one point. It was just this giant bubble, and every other bubble was so minuscule next to it. And it was Fartcoin right in the middle of my screen. And it was like that for days. And I was like, you know, what if I do all this research and all this trading and I get outperformed by Fartcoin? What if Fartcoin just destroys me? Like, if I wouldn't have done any research and just invested everything I had into Fartcoin, I would have been better off. Like, if that happened, I couldn't say I wouldn't be tilted. Who wouldn't be tilted? Getting outperformed. Oh, you were in crypto? Were you in Fartcoin? Fartcoin went to the moon, baby. I'll tell you what, man. I could. If that happens, you guys will know it. You see $100,000 Fartcoin, not gonna happen. Market cap does not support, right? But yeah, we were speculating on this short here out of the daily. Look at this here. Look at this here. We did have bearish divergence on the 4 hour. You had bearish divergence here on the 4 hour. What happens when we invalidate, right? And this is just an idea. We did not get into this trade. This is the last time we looked at Fartcoin. You have a swing across on the RSI indicator while you have a swing up on price action. That is bearish divergence on the 4 hour, suggesting that you break this low before you break this high. As soon as you invalidate that bearish divergence, you went on a massive rocket shot. That is something important to know about divergences. If you defy them, this is why you put your stop loss right here. This is why whenever you're trading based off of divergence, you put your stop loss right above the wick. Because if you did not do that, you got squeezed like a pimple, baby, to the upside. That would have been a disaster. After that day, 4 hour bearish divergence was defied, you had a 50% run on Fartcoin, liquidating any short that was any short in the game. You couldn't even have a short that did not get liquidated, because even if you were on 2x, you would have gotten liquidated on that move in the span of a couple days. And we did talk about this for the altcoins, or for the meme coins. We talked about this, and I'm not trading meme coins right now. I'm not trading meme coins. I will put that out there. But I did say the danger of shorting meme coins after a downward move of about, 90%, the squeeze potential to the upside, especially as these high volume nodes were created, was immense. I don't think Fartcoin's going back to that. I'll put that out there. I don't think Fartcoin's going back to the highs. Highly unlikely. I think the meme coin cycle is over. I think meme coins have lost their trust. I think people have realized that, wow, this really is gambling if I'm getting into meme coins. And the amount of people that have made money on meme coins comparatively that have lost money on meme coins is a small sliver. I would go as far as to say that 10% of people who just trade meme coins or invest in meme coins there's only about, I'd say less than 10% are even profitable. 90% fail and 90% get absolutely wrecked in trading, period. But an additional 90% on top of that, those people who decide to dive into the meme coin casino, baby, into the meme coin casino. The odds of you finding something that is going to multiply 100 to 1000x are slim to none. Not impossible, but slim to none. This would be what I'd be speculating on Fartcoin. You can get a squeeze to the upside. Where would I look for the next lower high to come in? Because you made on a macro, you made a lower low, did you not? Look at this lower low that was created on Fartcoin. Lower low. Woo! Lower low, baby. Lower low for Fartcoin. You have a higher low, higher high, you have a higher low, higher high. You created your first lower low. So Boys Crypto has to speculate that the next lower high is coming in, baby. Where is that likely to come in? The 618786. This is still an immaculate move for Fartcoin, up about 220% to get to where I would think that a new lower high would come in. But there's going to be so many people up here that are like, Fartcoin is about to break the high. Oh my gosh, my Paul, so it's crazy. I'm going to invest everything I got into Fart. And then they're going to get absolutely wrecked because of this key Fibonacci zone that is likely to serve as your next area as a lower high. And it's likely going to look like this. It is very likely going to look like this candle. A massive rocket shot. If you're to get it, right, you may flag out here and get a little pump, and then you'll get that massive rocket shot. And then the people who own the majority of Fartcoin, and I don't know what that is, right? I don't know if it's 1 person or 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people. I have no idea. I don't know a lot about the project. But what I do know is that these meme coins tend to have these massive squeezes to the upside with very large wicks that get sold into by the people who own the majority of the project. That's my speculation here on Fartcoin, baby. It is making a monumental move, outperforming the market over the past few days. Look at this. This has been monumental for Fartcoin. Let's pull it up on the daily here. Did you have any major bullish divergence? You did, and the whole market is screaming this. The whole market is screaming this, and some coins are popping it off faster than others. You did have a bullish divergence form here on the daily with that swing down in price action, while you have a swing up on the RSI. That looked beautiful for Fartcoin, saying that you were going to crack this high here before you cracked this low. That would have been a beautiful entry for Fartcoin to the upside, satisfying that daily bullish divergence. And now you're testing a prior resistance zone right here. And you're going to look to see if you can start closing candles above this level. You have not closed candles above this level since the beginning of February. You start closing candles above here, that's a high volume node on the chart, baby. You're likely to come up and test this area that has served as prior support resistance flip test. You get above this, and then you're looking at just forgetting this entire range here and just looking at the macro here. Just looking at the macro, like Ethereum, getting back above that key support resistance level. If you can do this for Fartcoin and you can squeeze up here and create this level around that 70-cent level as support, baby, that would look like an immaculate moonshot opportunity for Fartcoin. I don't think you're going back to the highs. That's just me speculating. Could it happen? Of course it could. Anything could happen in trading, and I've been wrong before. I'll be straight up with you guys. I've been completely wrong before. You guys have seen it on X. I lose trades. Everybody loses trades, right? I don't care who you watch. There's nobody with a 100% win rate. Not happening. People don't show position history or anything like that. They don't do it because they don't want to show losses. We do it here on the channel all the time. But for Fartcoin here, baby, I'm looking for that squeeze to the upside and a retrace to this 70-cent level. From this level, you can speculate on this support level holding, and that would be an immaculate long opportunity to me, in my eyes, for Fartcoin, baby. And where would I look at taking profits? At that 618786 bearish retracement, because I know that there's going to be a lot of sell pressure in that zone based off of another squeeze to the upside, taking advantage of retail hopium. This would be an immaculate move for Fartcoin, even up to that $2 level. It can happen. And these meme coins, it can happen. It can happen. I am overall bearish on meme coins. I don't think they're going to last this cycle. There's going to be a handful, and maybe Fartcoin is the one that, you know, Dogecoin, you had Shiba Inu withstood the test of time. Pepe withstood the test of time. Some of the best performers in the game. However, I don't think a lot of these meme coins are going to survive and get that massive pump. There's too many coins in the market to get the amount, the big pump once Bitcoin dominance does start to roll over. I believe money's going to be flowing into smart assets. But you know, Fartcoin can outperform. It can. I'm the first one here to tell you it can. Speculatively, I don't think it's going to crack the highs, but because the initial hype died down and the amount of fear in the market is crazy. Here you get into absolute FOMO. Could it happen again? Sure, but I'd be speculating on taking profits up here in this region. That represents a beautiful trade for Fartcoin once you get this support resistance flip. I would wait, though. I would wait for that confirmation, that break above, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, everybody. Holding your breath, being like, oh my gosh, it's gonna run without me. If it runs without you, to me, when things run without me, I'll let it run without me, baby. Let it run without me. That does not affect me mentally. Oh, I missed out. Risk management and understanding that you're gonna look for the most highly probable setups is the key to being a great trader. So when you get this run, not getting in here and waiting for the pullback, which is highly likely based off of this support resistance test, you're likely to break. If you break the resistance here for a fart coin, you are likely going to test it. Once you test it, that support resistance flip area will represent one of the most monumental buy opportunities, in my opinion, for a fart coin. Not financial advice, of course. All right, diving on into the chat, Yeah, hey, yeah, Gone Fishing, what's up, man? What's going on, man? I appreciate you being here. Fart coin, number one coin in crypto. Jacrispy, what's going on, brother? You're trolling me. I don't have anything against Fartcoin. I just know that the majority, look, everybody here's here to make money, right? Everybody here that is here on this channel wants to either learn about trading or make money, more likely, right? If you're looking to make money, I know the majority of people that start trading and begin trading, you're going to pay a market tax at the beginning. You're going to lose trades. It is what it is. But you will lose a lot more trades on meme coins based off of not just flat TA, but just the fact that one person or a few people likely hold a large amount of the supply. A very, very large amount of supply. And once they hit the sell button, and you don't know who they are, and once they hit the sell button, which will be at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning in the middle of the night, it will get absolutely, it could wreck your account. It could wreck your trades. It could wreck your account. You'll be wondering what happened when there isn't the amount of liquidity is close to zero. In some places in meme coins, zero liquidity, which means there's zero amount locked up that can hold the price up or prop it up, if you will. So I just know that meme coins are the least likely, to me, for me and my risk management strategy, the meme coins are the least likely to work out. That's why I try to stay away from trading them. Not to say that you can't win trading meme coins. 10% sounds conservative. Yeah, Gone Fishing, I totally agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. Yeah, 10% does sound conservative. Maybe 5%, 3%. I don't know. I don't know a lot of meme coin traders, and I'm just not involved in that world. All right. Meme fans wear shirts saying no meme, no Lambo. Yeah, dude, no meme, no Lambo. I mean, you could say that about the casino, right? Like, oh, you don't play the lottery every day. You don't play, you can't win. That's a true statement for meme coins. It's true. The odds you win in the lottery are very low, but how else are you going to come up with $550 million other than starting an immaculate business or not saying that's impossible, or to buy a lottery ticket and hit the Mega Millions. The odds are there. If you don't play, you can't win. They do say things like that. And that's true with the meme coin casino. If you don't play, you can't win. I acknowledge that. I acknowledge I'm not going to find the next meme coin 10 million X because not only am I not searching for it, but the risk that you'd have to take, you'd have to just pick a random coin on deck screener that came out 5 seconds ago and hope that it's going to be the next big thing. All right. So diving on in. Can't actually apply good TA to meme coins. Yeah, that started a year ago. That's true. There's not a lot of price history on these meme coins as well. Whenever there's a lack of price history, like whenever you're looking at things that just don't have a lot of price history, let's look at MetaDrip. We were talking about MetaDrip being a potential for a 100 or 1000X, right? And MetaDrip did take a little bit of a beatdown today. It did. Took a little bit of a beatdown over the past couple 4-hour candles. It is what it is. Back down to the low. This chart, it started on the 22nd of February 2025, about a month ago. This is 30 days of price action. On Bitcoin, we have years. We have years and years and years of price action. We have almost 10 years of price action on TradingView to look at for Bitcoin. And that's beautiful. For MetaDrip, I'm not hating on MetaDrip. I think MetaDrip's a great platform. I think this thing could do some massive damage. I think if you're looking for a 100 or 1000X, this would be something I would do a little bit of research on to see if this matches with your risk tolerance. But here we go on MetaDrip, baby. MetaDrip, Synastic Kid brought this to our attention, went on a massive run, retracing back down to where once it started before. Hitting support, and now you're on that support level again. This support level does seem to hold. It is appearing to hold for right now. But like a police with a battering ram, you hit it over and over and over and over again, and you're likely to break. You do need a break to the upside here for MetaDrip sooner rather than later. I don't want to be hanging around this support level for too long. It does look good. I like the project. The white paper's cool. They have a cool website and everything. And shout out to you, Synastic Kid, for bringing this to our attention. It does have some massive squeezes. Look at this squeeze. From the bottom to the top, you had a 74% squeeze. This does not happen in Bitcoin. You won't see a 74% squeeze on Bitcoin in 8 hours. It will not happen. It hasn't happened in Bitcoin's history. It has not. Well, with the exception, I know Bitcoin squeezed really hard back in Was it 2017 when we had that 50% run up in a day for Bitcoin based off of China starting some kind of rumor or something like that? Yeah, that was massive. But it was a massive wick to the upside for Bitcoin. Did happen once in Bitcoin's price history. But Bitcoin's too big to do this. MetaDrip down here at about $1 million market cap. You can look it up on Dex Screener. MetaDrip, $1 million market cap. This thing is what the market cap of things that you would need to be looking at if you wanted that 100 to 1000x. That's just not my opinion. That's fact. These things that are in the top 10 are not 100xing. Not this cycle. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. I'll put the trader stamp on it. Impossible. There's not enough money in this system right now in the cryptocurrency space for anything virtually in the top 30 to do anything like a 100x at all. Maybe there may be one in the top 100, the lower top 100, maybe, but it would have to get to a $100 billion market cap, and it would have to come up to be number 4 or the number 4th or 5th ranked cryptocurrency as it stands today. Could that happen? Absolutely. There's a lot of great projects out there, and depending on what kind of institutional adoption comes in and how much money flows in this space, look at XRP going on an absolute moonshot, up a 5x right now. But when you're looking at XRP, even if you were looking at it back before it went on its monumental run, XRP, it was sitting at about $30 billion down here. $30 billion. And now you're looking at the asset. Now you're looking at the asset here at about, what is it, 130 billion? 130 billion? In order for this thing to 10x, it would need to get to a $1.3 trillion market cap. That's a $23 XRP, a $1.3 trillion market cap. That is over half the size of Bitcoin. Is it possible? Sure, anything's possible, but I think it's highly unlikely. And that's a 10x. That's a 10x. A 100x would be a, what's it, 13? It would be a 100x on XRP would take XRP to $237. Is that possible? Maybe in the future, maybe in 10, 10, 20 years. I'm not, 10, 20 years. I'm just speculating here. But to get a 100x this cycle, it's not going to happen. Where are you going to find? That's half the United States. You would need to get the amount of money equivalent to the half of the United States national debt. It's not happening. It will not happen. Just like it won't happen for anything else in the top 30. The market caps are just too large for these. So if you did want to seek any of these 100x gems, you got to start clicking back here in Crypto Bubbles and do research on these projects. The 300 to 400, 200 to 300, things of this nature are more likely and have a greater chance or a chance at all of 100 to 1000xing. That's just how meme coins work, or not meme coins work, but the lower cap coins work. It's impossible. It's not going to happen for the top 100 in Boys Crypto's opinion. All right, diving on in, baby. Diving on in. I dig holes and stack rocks are good money. Yeehaw, man. Well done. I sold my wife's dirty underwear to China for crypto coins. Hey, dude, that's a method. I know people sell their bath water, their milk water, and their milk. They like bathe in milk and sell it to China, and they, or not China. They sell it on eBay and make some good money. Maybe you can make some good money doing that, man. I don't know. There was this girl who's the girl who sold her farts, who farted in a jar. Some girl farted in a jar and sealed them in there and sold them on eBay for a ton of money. I do remember hearing that story. That was years ago. I don't remember who did that, but yeah, that was a big deal. There was some girl who bathed in milk and in like Cheerio and Fruit Loops and sold the milk on eBay. That was wild. I read that story. Yeah, people do all sorts of crazy stuff, man. Hey, the feet pics are one of the biggest things on OnlyFans. Not that I'm on OnlyFans, but I hear on OnlyFans, my buddy O'Connor does OnlyFans, shoots those feet pics in there, man. So yeah, he's been making bank off of that stuff. He has those hot curly black hairs that are on top of your toes. He really gets some good views on that. Some good views. All right, baby. All right, back into Bitcoin. Let's see how we're going here on the BTC, the king of the assets here. All right, on the 1 hour, we are getting a little bit of a red candle here, a red candle. Let's see what we're looking like on the 15-minute. So the 15-minute, what I'd be looking for here on the 15-minute is a flaggeroonie on Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame above this 200 MA. I'd love to see this 21 coming across price action, this flag to fill out over the next few hours, some consolidation. And can we continue to rip? Absolutely. But we are coming up to a key Fibonacci zone, I'd bet. Yeah, we are. We're in the golden pocket right now. The bearish 618786 to the upside. So we need to get out of this zone, and we need to get out of this zone relatively quickly. And I think the best way for the asset to do it is to flag out here in the 618786 above the 15-minute 200 MA. The 21 coming in the price action with that lifer vision, baby. Shout out to the crypto lifer. Sam Price taught me a lot of what I know. up to the upside, baby, to the upside here, to the upside. That life revision, the 21 crossing the 200 with the flag above the 15-minute 200 MA to the upside for Bitcoin. That can leave Bitcoin getting out of this bigger consolidation here, and potentially over the course of the next 2 days, we could see $90,000 again, and we can see it quickly. With that being said, we are not out of the water. Even if we get back to 90K, and everybody's going to be foaming at the mouth like a raccoon with rabies, baby. Like a raccoon with rabies. Everybody's going to be foaming at the mouth, but we have to acknowledge that we're coming up to a key area of resistance here. We have this high volume node here at about 90. Let's zoom out and get the whole picture. We have this super high volume node here at about $96,000 here. Woo! Woo! The $96,000 level, a key resistance that Bitcoin is going to need to get above. Remember when we were streaming in here, we were like, God, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. Everybody was flipping back and forth, and I was like, I'm tired of this. And we did get that done to the downside. Yes, there is that massive resistance up here at about 96,000. The bears won here. It's clear. The bears won. The bears likely have sell orders still up here. Now, from this swing low, we are doing 618786 bearish retracements. Let me show you guys as we zoom on in here. Even with the news, I don't care about the news. I care about the charts right here. We do look at the news to form an overall macro bias, but check this out. From swing high to swing low, we came up to where? Even based off of the announcement, exactly to the 618786 retracement, and then to the downside, to the depths. So now that we made a lower low, lower high, a lower low, you have to respect the technical analysis here. From this swing high to this swing low, where are we coming to? That's right, we're at the 618 right now. Currently, we are at the 618 right now. We are at key resistance here at about 87. All of this whole zone from 87 up to 90K is a massive resistance zone. It just is. With that being said, we get above that 88.5 level. When we start closing candles, you have this massive gap in the VRVP that can lead to a squeeze to the upside. And you have this prior top here. Prior top. Look at all this resistance. You have the high volume node, prior top. I bet you have a 200 MA up here, maybe. Oh, we may not anymore. We may not. We may have an 8-hour or something like that above us. I think we do have an 8-hour above us, don't we? Yeah, we do. The 8-hour 200 SMA coming down, that's going to be resistance. Where's the 6-hour at? 6-hour, baby. 6-hour 200 MA in that golden pocket as well. So you guys can see that we are not out of the water. We're not out of the water. We're not out of the water, baby. We're not out of the water. Like, we can definitely fall lower from here. This can be a bearish retracement. We have to acknowledge that. But right now, I have to go based off this daily bullish divergence that we're going to crack this high here before this low. There is a lot of confusing indicators in the chart, but I have my bias, a bullish bias, because to me, this daily bullish divergence is stronger than this resistance right here. I think we can get that squeeze to the upside. There's a lot of shorts in the market, baby. There's a lot of shorts in the market. I think this market is primed, especially for the altcoins. And even if Bitcoin did nothing, even if Bitcoin trended sideways while Bitcoin dominance started to roll over, that could lead to a very healthy altcoin rally. I think this is very, very likely for Bitcoin here in the near term. Look at that bounce off the 200 MA on the 4-hour. This looks very, very nice. Let's see if we could get a little flaggeroonie here. A little flaggeroonie made out. I do not want to see us close below close candles below. I don't want to see us get rejected at 885 again, because what would that look like? A shoulder, head, right shoulders. That is not what I want to see. So right now we can speculate on this flag forming here. This flag forming on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. This can take days. It can take all the way up to April to fill out. We could go sideways and we can have a little bit of an alt season here. We can. That's actually, to me, looking very, very likely. Over the next week, Bitcoin dominance starts to give on those bearish indicators, and we just trend here. We trend here. Does that not look like it could be very likely that flag to the upside for Bitcoin dominance on the 4-hour? We may be just be in for some sideways price action, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is very likely. You do have a flagpole here on the 4-hour looking good. It looks good for Bitcoin. With that being said, it's going to take some time to play out, and you'll come back up to this $92,000 level. A big push to the upside, looking like it's going to rear for Bitcoin, but we are due for some consolidation. We've been pumping for a couple days, everybody. We've pumped ever since Friday the 21st, and now we're consolidating over the course of this week. I think some consolidation is here and is likely for Bitcoin here on the 4-hour, closing above that 4-hour 200 SMA. Who thinks we're going to the 6-hour 200 SMA? I do. We're playing 200 MA dominoes, baby. We break the 4, we're likely to come to the 6 and at least test it, and that would get us out of that flag to the upside. So I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin, and we have not been above these 200 MAs since we were trading up at about $100,000. The squeeze potential, whenever you see this, look at what happens when this line starts curving down. When the line starts curving down and you get squeezes above that, you get pumps. You get pumps. You get pumps. Curving down, pump, and that one never stopped. Let's see what happened here. You were curving down, you got above, and pumped. This happens for all the 200 MAs. Whenever you're curving down massively and you get above, curving down massively, you get above and you get squeezed to the upside. Curving down, you get above, pump to the upside. We're curving down arguably harder than we ever had. This slope is greater than these, is it not? Getting above here was a key resistance for Bitcoin. I'm telling you guys, I'm calling the bottom here for altcoins. I think the Bitcoin has bottomed out. I have to go based off this daily bullish divergence. Every time I've looked at daily bullish divergence in the face and said, oh, that was it. Yeah, it's going lower. I've gotten spanked, baby. I've gotten spanked. My lady here at home has this special fly swatter that I'm just kidding. I mean, there are some welts on me that may tell a different story, but I promise those are all from falling in the gym. All falling in the gym, everybody. Don't go calling any popo or anything. Help me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so that's what I'm looking at for the 4-hour for Bitcoin for that squeeze to the upside daily bullish divergence. I'm sticking with that. I'm calling that we break 95,000 before we break 76. Now I think that would return to bull market status. We get above and fulfill this daily bullish divergence here on the daily here. You can see it right here. This daily bullish divergence. We get above here. Look at this key area of support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, 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 support, resistance, support. Battering ram. Good night. We dumped to the downside. Resistance. We get above this zone and this daily bullish divergence plays out. Bull run back on, baby. I call it. Bull run back on. It will look exactly like that. We get above, and I'm not saying we're going to go up in a straight line. But if we get above and we flip this area, this high volume node, this area of previous support that served as support before, we get above this resistance area, convert it to support, we are back on, baby. And then we are going to be screaming to the upside when everybody's caught with their pants down, be like, whoa, I should have got Bitcoin under $100,000. Isn't that crazy? We've been averaging in, baby. We've been averaging in on total 3. We've been averaging into the altcoins. We talked about this box of remembrance. It will be here forever, baby. Forever. When we're looking at the altcoins, we're going to say, hey, we're going to move this box of remembrance only when I exit my altcoin positions on my spot bags and I convert to Bitcoin. And then we're going to move this box of remembrance, or we may just make another one. We make another one. When I believe that we've topped out and we form some kind of major weekly bearish or monthly bearish divergence and we get a shooting star candle or something like that, and I think we're out of the altcoins and I'm satisfied with the gains I made in the altcoins, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to buy Bitcoin and I'm going to hold the Bitcoin. I'm never going to sell my Bitcoin. I'm going to hold my Bitcoin. I'm not saying I'm never going to sell my Bitcoin. I will sell a portion of my Bitcoin on the way up. Once we break, I think $140,000, I'll start scaling out of my Bitcoin position. However, when I sell my altcoins, the first thing that I will do is go into Bitcoin, because when the bear market starts, even if Bitcoin's dumping, it's not going to dump as bad as these altcoins, baby. I'm telling you, your favorite altcoin project will get absolutely kicked in the balls, and that's not what we're looking to do on the way up, baby. That's not what we're looking to do for the way up. Let's dive on into the chat here. Hey, I haven't really looked at the chat in a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. All right, diving on in. Gone fishing. You dig holes with rocks for good money. Hey, man, hey, manual labor, man. Shout out to you. I stare at this screen all day. All right, here we go. Check CTC and Barra. Barra was on a massive run. CTC, yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Let's dive on in. CTC, credit coin. I've never heard of this. CTC, credit coin. We'll look at it on, does it have perpetuals? It does on OKX, okay. Wow, what in the world happened to this thing? This thing got absolutely annihilated. But hey, just like everything else, just like every other altcoin in the game, and I don't know where this ranks on the bubbles. Okay, CTC. CTC, number 156. Number 156. Okay, CTC getting a squeeze to the upside over the past 24 hours or so. 24 hours. Remember, this candle just started just a few hours ago, 3 hours ago. And in the past 3 hours, it's went on a moonshot. This 3-hour candle is the same as this daily candle. Or the 4-hour candle is the same as this daily candle. It's the same exact thing because these candles open at the same exact time, even though they're on different time periods. Bullish divergence, baby. Different asset, same indicator here on almost every altcoin. And I said in the top 100, but you could argue it's on a lot of the coins in the game. Look at that swing across. This is Class B, not as strong as Class A. You have that swing across. Oh my gosh, let's get in there. Swing across on the RSI while we have that swing down. So you're making an equal low on the RSI while you're making a lower low on price action, stating that you're likely to break this high here at about 97 cents before you break this low. You're below the daily 200 MA, but you're hard charging towards it, baby. You're hard charging towards it. Looks good for CTC here in the near term, man. In the near term, you're forming this falling channel, this descending sloping resistance line. You did successfully break out of that. These candles are gaining massive momentum, each one being greater than the rest. You had a small one, bigger one. This is looking to form bigger, looking to get that squeeze to the upside. I'd watch when you get in this overbought region on the daily, but it's looking good, man. It's looking good for a reversal to the upside. And look at this. Is this not a perfect support resistance flip? Support, flip under, resistance. We got above, boom, to the upside. And you came down where on the weekly? Almost to the dollar here. Almost to the dollar, to that support level, to this support level that you've been forming since the beginning of the year. That looks like a support resistance flip to me. You can even argue it's up here. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I'll put a line down here. Maybe it didn't come exactly down to test it. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking very, very good to me. You're above the high volume node. Woo! You're above the high volume node here on the weekly, baby. If you get this candle body closure, remember what I'm saying here, man. If you get the candle body closure, when does this candle close on the weekly? On the high volume node here, man, it's in 3 days and 21 hours. So you have a couple days, and a lot can happen. As we know in the crypto market, can happen in a couple of days. I would look for this candle to close above the high volume node. You get above that high volume node, and you could say, hey man, this area, you could say, hey, this has a massive amount of buy pressure. Coming up to the 200 MA. You break this 200 MA, I have to be a bull, man. Look what happened the last time you broke it. The last time you broke the 200 MA on the daily on this asset, you went on the rocket shot that was the post 2024 election of 572%. You may be looking at some of the best prices for this asset, man, based off this daily bullish divergence. I would wait on the smaller time frame for some kind of consolidation. You chase something like this, you're asking to get wrecked. Look at this. You chase that, you got wrecked. You chased any of these big green candles, you got wrecked on the pullback. So you are making higher highs, higher lows. You made a, higher. This tough on the market structure, man. It really is. Why is it tough based on the market structure? Because of the size of these candles. The size of these candles are absolutely massive. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, very slightly, higher low, higher high. Where's the next higher low likely to come in? You know, you can say that it's a 618, 786, but this thing looks like it's on an absolute tear to the upside. It looks like it's about to just absolutely rip through there. I think it looks good, man. I think it looks good for the upside. I'd look for that. I'd wait on my hands. I'd sit on my hands for this asset until that weekly gets a close. I would love to see a weekly close above that high volume node on the VRVP. Where's it at here? Come on, VRVP. This high volume node here on the VRVP, a very, very key area that I would be looking at for CTC. All right, diving on in. Once it rips, can it continue? Asking for a friend, TNB Willis. You talking about CTC, man? Yes. Here's the thing. Let's go on over to the lesson that we learned last week. The lesson that people learned last week about chasing green candles. Can it continue? Yes. The more overextended you get, the more likely it is that you're going to get, this is bounce token, something that we looked at last week. It broke the 200 MA, and we were saying, hey, we're going to wait for some sign of consolidation. I waited for the 618, 786 retest, and this trade did not work out. We did get that, a little bit of a reaction off the 786. Not the 786, from the swing low here. Get a reaction on the 786. I was looking for a reversal here. Did not happen. Fell below the 786, got stopped out of the trade. We cut it off. It is what it is. But I was taking that because it was a high risk reward setup. Here we are on bounce token. You got a massive run up to the upside. Could you get an 886 retracement and still look good? Yeah, absolutely. But we've learned our lesson here about chasing green candles. Oh, what we're just looking at, CTC. So that's what I'm seeing for CTC, man. CTC. It can continue to the upside, but once you get that initial move, you need to take out your, to me, you have to take out your initial investment, especially if this thing starts cracking the 200 MA and you double up or you get a 50% on your investment. At least move your stop to break even, man. At least move your stop to break even, or you could trail the stop. Every 10 cents it goes up, you follow it by 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents. You get stopped out, you're in profit, man. That's the way to look at these assets that could potentially massively squeeze. If you did that here, you can move it 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents, you know, all the way to the upside until you got stopped right here. And yeah, you would have missed out on the bigger move, but at least move your stop to break even. That's a lot of green lines. At least move your stop to break even, man, and protect your initial investment. A super important thing to do whenever you're looking at these thank you reviews for the question, man. Thank you for the coins. A super important thing to know when you're looking at like risk management and managing your portfolio. Very, very important. All right, diving on in. Barachain. Barachain for reviews again. I got you, Sin Nasty Kid. I see you, man. Barachain getting a monumental move to the upside. Got stopped out on this trade at like the very bottom here. Was a little tilting, but you know what? Hey, I went based off of my risk management strategy and warning signs that I saw in the charts, this bearish divergence on the 4-hour. We defied that bearish divergence and we never looked back. Defied that bearish divergence right here. You had that swing up on price action with the swing down on the 4-hour. I said, hey, there's likely going to be you're likely going to break this low before you break this high. And we did not. We defied it and we went on a rocket shot to the upside. Now you're forming divergence again. Bear div on the 4-hour. Can you defy this? If you defy this bear div, man, you're looking for another rocket shot to the upside. You'll see another candle like this, highly, highly likely. So I'd be looking at Barachain here. It looks good. It looks good. Not something I'm interested on entering though, because just a week ago, you were trading at 590. You're almost up from a week ago, man. You're up about 50%. I can't justify a jump in on a coin like this once it's ran that far from its low. You made a higher high, a higher low. You made a higher high. A higher low is likely to come in at some point, and I just don't have the risk. I don't have the risk appetite to be able to take this whenever we're approaching like 618, 786, and I know a higher low is likely to come in. You're in the 618, 786 golden pocket. You defy this bear div, man. You're going on a moonshot mission. You break these highs, and you're looking at price discovery to the upside based off of Barachain here. You could potentially test the highs wherever that was before the exchange listing here on Binance. So I'd be looking at Barachain for a potential blue skies breakout here, but you are in a key area of resistance at 618, 786 retracement here to the downside. Why? Because we made a lower low. We made a lower low on price action. You did change market structure, but on the macro, if you look at this on the daily, you made a lower low and you made a higher, you can say that was their higher low, but I'm looking from a macro perspective. This is still a lower low. You have to speculate on a lower high until the 786 gets defied. You violate that, and you're looking at a very, very nice breakout to the upside once you crack this resistance at about 880. So looking good for Barachain, man. Looking good for Barachain. I think that's looking really, really good for a move to the upside. Congratulations if you hold it, brother. Congratulations if you hold it. Hey, yeah, thank you reviews for the coins. We got Gone Fishing. The model's just as viable as a Mason, you're right. Good luck with the memes. Good luck with the memes, man. Good luck. Shout out to any of you guys that are in meme coins. Kaito, baby. Kaito. April 2nd for the alts. Hey, yeah, I think I got that on my chart. I do have that on my chart somewhere. Do I have that on the Bitcoin chart? I don't remember what chart I left that on. Did I leave it on the Bitcoin chart? I put Sin Nasty Kid's call April 2nd for the alts. I don't forget that, man. I don't forget that. We're like a week away, brother. We're like a week away. Let's see if we get it. All right, let's see. Bara is punching. Yeah, reviews absolutely, man. Kaito, baby. Kaito for Sin Nasty Kid. Let's dive on in, man. Let's dive on in. Kaito, baby, on Binance. On Binance. Zooming on in here. I did put an alert here the other day because I wanted to know whenever we got to that 6. Where do I want to know? Where do we want to know? Whoa. This is why we set alerts, baby. This is why we set alerts. So, let's look at here on the 2-hour. Let's get rid of this. So I did want to know whenever a Kaito broke above, what was it? The daily 200 SMA? It wasn't the daily, it was a 4-hour, wasn't it? 4-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour. I wanted to know when it was above the 3-hour. I don't know why I put that alert there. I can't remember. But here we're looking at Kaito, baby. We're looking at Kaito. So we do have this swing across. In price action. Kaito was, I thought it was forming this bullish divergence. Maybe I was thinking of a different asset. But yeah, Kaito, you do have that swing across. You do have a slight, see, this is a lower low. So this would be an example of what you call hidden bullish divergence. Okay, hidden bullish divergence occurs. You can look at my video on hidden bullish divergence if you don't know what it is. So let's zoom on in here on the RSI. Hidden bullish divergence is tough to see. Hidden bullish divergence occurs when you have a swing up in price action, a swing up, a lower low a higher low created on price action, but you make a lower low on the RSI. Why is this hidden bullish divergence? Well, it states that we have a lot more room on the RSI. Let's zoom this out here. You have a lot more room on the RSI, and I know that's kind of relative based off the RSI right now because you were coming down to that oversold region, but you have so much room here on the RSI to go to the upside before you get pinned to the overbought level. This hidden bullish divergence does suggest that you break this high on the macro before you break this low at $1.24. This looks good on the 1 hour, for Kaito. And why am I looking at the 1 hour? Because Kaito is relatively new. Kaito came out on the 21st of February, about a month ago. So we don't have a lot of price action history. This is a range that has served as support before. Support for Kaito, but we got to zoom in on the smaller time frames to get a little bit of a glimpse here at what is likely to come here in the future. So you're looking to play 200 MA dominoes, man. You're looking to play 200 MA dominoes. You're coming up to the 5 as we speak. Forming a little bit of a channel loony here, to the upside for Kaito. Let's see if this pennant can play out here on the 5-minute time frame. That's what I'd be looking at, man, for a squeeze to the upside. You got gaps in the VRVP to support a massive move to the upside. I would look. You still have to pull your fibs, man, from the swing high to the swing low for areas of resistance here. And I know it's a lot of like if then, but you're approaching an area of resistance. You got rejected at the 618-786 here. You did get rejected. So let's see if Kaito can hold this upper trend line, squeeze into this pennant, and get that squeeze to the upside. That would be nice. You are approaching a macro area of resistance here based off just the 5-minute time frame, man. The 5-minute time frame of the 618-786, and you have this high volume node here. A little bit of resistance above for Kaito. I like the project. I think this thing could do absolute damage. I really do think it could do some absolute damage, baby. I really do. I think this thing, the internet, the new Google, baby, the new Google for crypto. I think this thing's going to absolutely moonshot. Speculatively, I'm speculating here. I think this thing's going to be an absolute mooner whenever FOMO enters back into this space. When you get FOMO in this space and people aren't finding what they want to find on Google, and Kaito could get just a fraction of the Google search volume for cryptocurrencies, this thing could do some monumental damage. You have resistance above you, man. Look for the 200 MAs. Look for that domino effect on the 200 MAs. You break the 5, you're likely to go to the 7. You break the 7, you're going to the 15, at least to test it. You break the 15, you're going to the 30, man, and they're all above you. They're all above you right now. So you're going to be looking for those 200 MA dominoes to be played, brother. Thank you for your coin suggestion here on the chat. Into Kaito, baby. Into Kaito. That's what I'm looking at here for Kaito. For Sin Nasty Kid, thanks for keeping that on our radar. April 2nd for the alt, baby. I know it. Yeah, punching through that resistance like Mike Tyson. Hey, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like Mike Tyson, man. He kind of got wrecked in that fight. I don't know if you guys saw that fight. Do you guys watch the fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? It was kind of sad. Like, everybody was saying his legs. Everybody was talking about his legs. Like, oh, his legs, they look a little weird. I wasn't looking at Mike Tyson's legs, but a lot of guys on the internet, everybody looking at Mike Tyson's legs. I'm like, why are you looking at the man's legs? Why are you looking at the man's legs? It's a boxing match here. It's a boxing match. Sad fight. Lost money on that fight, baby. I put $100 on Mike Tyson. I put $100 on Mike Tyson to win, and he got absolutely wrecked. So, hey, yeah, every once in a while, if there's a big sporting event or I go to an event, I usually gamble on that event. I like throwing a little bit of money here and there on the sports, you know. But only if I go and watch it now. I used to do it a lot more, but only if I go to games now. If I go to games, I pretty much treat it like this. The cost to go to the game, I treat it like this. If I go to a game, say I go to a baseball game, I like to wager on the team that I think is going to win or the team that I'm supporting. And if I win, the payout amount will pay for my seats and my food. And that way, it's like I went to a game for free and I enjoyed my time. And I get really crap seats, right? I usually just way up in the, forever. But if I win, then my game was paid for, my food was paid for, and I just had a great time at a baseball game for free. That's how I view it. And if I lose, I could justify it being like, oh, it's all, it would have been the same outcome if I was sitting down there in those twice as expensive seats. Is that messed up But that's how I gamble sometimes, baby. That's how I gamble on the sports. I don't know. Shout out to all the sports bettors out there. Used to do it a lot more, man, but now I'm just in the charts. This stuff has had a much higher success rate than gambling. That is way for sure. Way better risk management. You have odds in your favor and everything on the charts. You don't get that whenever you're betting on sports. I tell you. All right, guys, that's what I'm looking at for the chat. Orca, can it continue? Orca, TNB Willis. Oh, I didn't see you say Orca, man. Yeah, let's dive on in. Orca the whale. Orca ripping. Orca is what the whoa! Orca is ripping. Okay. All right. Number one, I don't like how the chart looks. I just don't. This just doesn't, it does not look, where'd the fib come to here? You didn't get a 618786. I don't think you did. Did you? You did. You came down to the 618 retrace. Look at that from the swing low here to the swing high. You came down to the 618 and you got a reversal, a massive reversal to the upside. Orca for the move off of that candle. This candle is only, is it an hour old? 2 hours? This candle is 3 hours old. This is a 3-hour candle of 20% to the upside for Orca. Can Orca continue? I have no idea what news event prompted this. Some kind of news event prompted this for sure. You don't get 100% move and be like, yeah, the technical analysis said we were going to double in the next 3 hours. Yeah, that does not happen. Not usually, even with low cap coins, it just doesn't usually happen without some kind of catalyst. All right, so you did come down here, got to bounce off of this high volume node area, and you gapped up through the VRVP. You're starting to gap up, and you hit this high volume node cluster. I would still go based off of my thesis here. I mean, that's a company. It doesn't look pretty. It could continue. I'm not saying it can't continue, but what I'm saying is that the odds of it continuing just. I don't see a nice chart pattern that I could say, yes, it's likely to continue, or no, it's not. This is a massive move off of the 618-786 retracement. That is a bullish retracement to the upside, man. That's what I can tell you, and the VRVP is going to be all messed up because of these two candles that are absolutely moonshots to the upside. Now, from here, what would you do when you get a bounce off the 618-786? Well, that is bullish, but you do want to pull from the swing low. Let's get this. Man, I sound like I don't know what's going on with my tongue right now. What am I going on with my tongue? I sound like that guy in who's the guy with the big tongue on The Boys? I don't remember. All right, here we go. From the swing high to the swing low, I would look at my bearish 618-786 here, overlapping here. At that 332 level and the 345 level, there may be some resistance right there. People speculating on a lower high coming in, That's possible, and you could argue that this was a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and a lower low. And so where's the new lower high likely to come in? Between, the 310 to the 332 level. I think that's likely, but to me, Orca, I wouldn't touch this, man. I can't touch this. I just couldn't do it. The size of these candles does not give me any high probability setups. And as much as it's like, whoa, look at this thing ripping, and I get that it is, the candles do not tell me that I have a high probability chance of winning in either direction. So I am choosing to stay away from this asset. I'm choosing to stay away and sit on my hands. I'll wait for some kind of consolidation. You could argue that this was consolidation right here, but I don't like it, man. Just a shape. There's nothing really a lot to go on. Now you can get something like this. This would be something I'd be interested in trading. If we did form some kind of shoulder, head, right? And then we got a right shoulder. I would love to trade something like that, right? With a resistance line here, a clear-cut resistance line with a confirmed breakout and a retest here to the upside. That would look very, very good for Orca, and I could capitalize on the measured move that would be massive for Orca here of about, let's see, from the break of that. But I'd have to wait, man. Again, I'd have to wait. Orca can continue, and it can continue. That'd be a 33% move to the upside for Orca if we did break this resistance line. But that's what I'm looking at for Orca, man. To me, I have to sit on my hands for it. I appreciate the question, man. I appreciate the question. All right, that's what I'm looking at. Orca ripping, yeah, baby, yeah. Hey, thank you, everybody, for jumping on in here with me tonight. This upcoming week, tomorrow morning, super huge. Keep this on your radar. Initial jobless claims comes out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. A guaranteed God dildo candle to the upside, downside. There's going to be whipsaw, crazy price action Pre-market's going to be wild. It is going to be a crazy time in the market tomorrow morning. Be careful opening up any trades beforehand or after. If you want to set limit orders beneath, that is totally fine, or limit sells above, or if you're in a trade right now, that is totally fine. I will limit into my entries as we go down here on Ethereum, Cardano, and Aerodrome if we do end up getting that pullback, but this could be the catalyst we need to get a rocket shot to the upside. Also, baby, look at here. Personal income and personal spending. This to me is a bigger deal than on Thursday. Personal income and personal spending are coming in. We're going to get a glimpse of the average American consumer. And you could argue that if the average American consumer is feeling these stresses or freedom when it comes to their money, a lot of the world is as well. So these numbers are going to be absolutely massive. Their estimates coming in at about increases on income and increases on spending. I don't know if we're going to get that. We'll see. We'll see, everybody. We will see on Friday, but this is the most likely thing to move the market the most. Why? Because on Friday, there's a lot less liquidity in the market. The volume goes down. As we've seen on BTC here, we have had decreasing volume over the past few days, over the past few weeks, man. Like, there has not been as much volume traded on BTC. Let's zoom on in here and let me show you what I'm talking about once more. We have the volume indicator. You type in volume and it pops up on the bottom of your chart. Look at this decreasing volume. All these flags here are personal spending, initial jobless claims, things that are very important on the chart. We have the GDP growth Q over Q. We have the job openings, manufacturing, PMI. Oh, these are all in April. Okay, so these are a little further out. But yes, we do have falling volume. Falling volume here with falling price is a great thing. Why? Because it leads to squeezes. There will be a volume candle like this or like this, and it'll be massive. It'll look like this. It will. Mark my words, everybody. Mark my words. You had decreasing volume here, and you had that massive dump to the downside. You had decreasing volume here, and you had that massive pump to the upside. Volume is very important, and we're getting less and less volume every single day here on BTC. It looks like there's some kind of squeeze or some kind of big move coming for this monumental asset, and these could be the moments here. We're getting close. Look at that. We're coming down to almost zero volume here. Look at the size of these candles compared to up here. Compared to back in, March, early March, these candles were absolutely massive, and we haven't seen anything like that since in weeks when it comes to volume traded on BTC. So there is a lot of fear in the market right now. We're sitting about neutral on fear and greed. We're approaching this downward sloping resistance line on Bitcoin. We get a crack here. We could likely travel to $90,000, and we could travel very, very quickly. This resistance line looks to break for BTC. Closing candles above that daily. You could even argue. I'm not going to argue that it's broken. I'm going to call it right here. You break this downward sloping resistance line, and it looks very, very good for BTC to at least come up to this $95,000 level. That would be the bullish divergence playing out. It looks good. We have the gap in the VRVP to support us. Take a breath, everybody. Take a breath. I know today was a wild ride in the market. It is okay. It is okay. We are recovering. We're going to start seeing some green here. Look at this green across the board, looking very good. We're starting to see more green on the bubbles in the past 4 hours. Everything getting a little bit of a pump a lump here. Looking good. Take a breath. Take a breath. You want to look at Aerodrome. Yeah, Aerodrome getting out. Look, these trades are underwater, baby. These trades are underwater massively. They're underwater massively. It is what it is. These are scalp trades on the bigger time frames, okay? These are scalp trades on the bigger time frames. We got in almost at the high for Aerodrome. Oh my gosh. What in the world's going on for Aerodrome? Let's dive into it. Listen, this is utilizing good risk management, everybody. Good risk management. I've kind of developed a different kind of strategy on this. I'm going based off of the daily swings here, off of this support level that's been held, and my stops are down here at that 47-48 cent level. That looks good. We're trading on the high volume node. I'm going to let this trade breathe. I'm going to let it relax, and I am looking for that squeeze to the upside for Aerodrome. No stress here in the near term. I will keep you guys updated with that on Twitter, baby, on X. Follow me at BoysCrypto102, BoysCrypto102 on X for all my trade setups and my ideas and what I'm doing in this market. RSI is curving up. While we do have this swing across here on price action, that looks very, very good to me, saying that we're likely to crack this high at about 56 cents before we crack this low at about 48 cents. That's what I'm looking at for Aerodrome. And though the trade is underwater, all the trades are underwater. Aerodrome is underwater, down 29% since resistance entry, I am totally fine with holding this trade open. I think this is going to be a great area to accumulate Aerodrome, one of the hottest assets on base, baby. And I think that thing is going to absolutely rocket shot once FOMO comes back into the space. I can't ignore these prices. We drop below this low. Why am I long on Aerodrome? We drop below this low. It's likely over. It's likely over. Look at this key area of support. I have to open up longs here because this is the last shot for a lot of these altcoins. This is it. This is it. If the altcoins can't hold where they're at right now and we drop below, we're going on a price discovery to the downside. And I will not be participating in that. I will not be shorting, but I won't be participating in going into any longs once we fall beneath this zone. Because what would be the deal for Aerodrome? We fall beneath this zone, we're likely to retest it as support resistance flip to the downside for Aerodrome. I think this is a very strong project. And it's not one of my bigger positions, but it is something that I do speculate on getting a massive reversal to the upside, even back to the highs. This thing not long ago, back in December, traded at $2.32. Remember that. And on leverage here, these could represent some of the best risk reward opportunities that you could find in the game. That's why I'm leveraging long here on these altcoins. I have to. Once we get the reversal, it'll be a monumental play out. If we get the dump and these trades get stopped, that's it. That's it for, to me, that's it for the alts, or the more speculative alts here in the near term. My box of remembrance will be violated, highly likely. If we do come out and we stop out these trades, this box of remembrance will either A, be tested or just absolutely capitulated through. Not something that I'm looking at for the altcoins. I think we do get a reversal here based off of this candle even shaping up good today. These trades were down worse earlier. Getting a reversal here today on the daily candle, closing above the daily 200 MA. This will be the third day we have that candle close above the daily 200 MA for total 3 every asset in the game besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think this thing is going to reverse monumentally to the upside. We've been averaging in altcoins in spot down here, baby, down here. And our biggest winner since we started averaging in, our biggest play, SUI, baby. We were getting down here this past week. We were like, this is when we were drawing the box of remembrance. We were drawing the box of remembrance down here, and that's $220 region, currently trading at $2.70. How does that feel? Everybody who got into the SUI chain, baby, getting a massive rip to the upside. Other big winners, Render. We were talking about Render when we were down in the dumps here at about $3. You're trading at $4 now. Trading at $4 now. So averaging it. This is why I can't ignore these prices for altcoins. We dropped below these lows, man. And this was just 2 weeks ago. It's 253 level. Can you believe that you're almost, if you got in here, you're almost up 100% on your investment, or 60 to 80% on your investment in just 2 weeks? Crazy. So I'm longing at the lows, everybody. I'm longing at the lows, and I'm taking that risk. I'm taking that risk here because it is, to me, the line in the sand for the altcoin market. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. KJB, what's going on, man? I appreciate you jumping on in. We're about wrapping up here, man. We're about wrapping up. Hey, you guys want some coins? I love you guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Let's come on through these. I got you guys. Yeah, so Aerodrome. Yeah, I think that's a bottom, man. I think that's a bottom. I sell your dog and buy Aero reviews. Chill out, dude. Chill. Yeah, H-bar for Sin Nasty Kid. So I think these are good areas to start averaging in, but Aerodrome, look at here on Aerodrome. This is a more speculative play. This is not even above $1 billion market cap, I believe. This is a $420 million sleeping giant, in my opinion. I think this thing could be a massive player. I think we could get up to, a $5-6 billion market cap once Base takes off. Base has been doing more volume than any other chain. I think, and Aerodrome's the leading DEX on Base. I think this thing can do some, and you also have awesome staking rewards. I think this thing can do some massive damage. I really do. Okay, here we go. Over for Sin Nasty Kid, H-bar, baby. H-bar. Likely one of the first ETF approvals I'm hearing on X anyway. For what that's worth. Getting that bounce off the daily 200 MA, that is a great signal to me. You're above the daily 200 MA. You're staying above the daily 200 MA. You have not closed a candle below the daily 200 MA since you were down here at about 6 cents. So holding that level, very, very key. We were forming what was a little bit of a bullish divergence here. Yeah, you were forming a bullish divergence here. Did not work out, right? Still valid. It is still valid. Is it not? No, it got invalidated. This bullish divergence did get invalidated on this wick here. It dropped below this wick. It is what it is. Sometimes that happens on bullish divergences. It does happen. But regardless, H-bar is looking okay. Catching that 200 MA. Let's get this out of here. 200 MA catching on this high volume node, looking all right. Let's pull our fib and see what we got here for H bar. I wouldn't be surprised if you came down to a key area, 618 maybe. From the swing low, from the beginning of the run all the way to the swing high, you came to the 618 area. The 618 Fibonacci got that perfect bounce, and it has served as support with the 200 MA here. It looks good. It looks like H bar is looking the bottom here, get a reversal to the upside. You do have a high volume node here to support you, man. The 200 MA and the 21 getting close. Whenever you get tight moving averages, let's see where the 100 and the 200 are. Whoop, 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 whoop. And that's not what I'm looking at. So whenever I'm doing my analysis, I usually keep these, what in the world? I don't know why it's not showing that on my chart. Yeah, anyway. So we got the 200 and the 21 getting close. Tight moving averages look good for a reversal to the upside for H bar. Holding above that 200 MA. I do not want to close a daily candle below the 200 MA. You guys know what happens when that happens. Whenever we close daily candles above the 200 MA, unless we reclaim it immediately, that to me is bear market territory. Look, the last time that happened, we closed below, we dumped below. We closed above, we had a massive pump to the upside for H bar. Coming back to that 618-786 key Fibonacci retrace for H bar, one of the ones that are likely to be put in that ETF scenario. I know they have an application in. We'll see if they get it. There's been massive news surrounding the coin. I think that thing is a sleeping giant, baby, to the upside. I like H bar here. I do like H bar. With that being said, you don't have a major. You do have a. So you do have a little bit of a bullish divergence that has formed right here, right? You've already validated once, but you got a bullish divergence here. You have that swing up on the RSI making higher low while you're making a lower low here on price action. But that one has not been invalidated. That bullish divergence has not been invalidated. As we zoom in here, this bullish divergence says we'll break this high up here before we crack this low down here. And though the wick got close, you did not validate. Did you invalidate it? And I'm not nitpicking here. This is just how bullish divergence works. You did not. This wick almost came down and invalidated that bullish divergence, but you did not. So this was looking good for H bar. This bullish divergence does still stand. Saying that you will break. And isn't that crazy how it came to just a few cents above, not even a fractions of a penny above where that bullish divergence would have been invalidated. Cracking this high before this low, you have bullish divergence that is looking to swing you to the upside. You're above a high volume node in the daily 200 MA. I have to be a bull on H bar, Sin Nasty Kid. I am a bull, baby. I am a bull. Thanks for shouting that out, man. I appreciate it. Zebek, baby. Zebek. Let's dive on into Zebek. I've never heard of this. Hey, I appreciate you, KJB, for jumping on into the chat, man. Hey, this is awesome. I appreciate you being here on OKX. Zebek, baby. Again, know nothing about this project. Absolutely nothing. Where's Zebek at? Oh, ZBC, baby. ZBC rank 408. So this is a lower market cap coin here at about $75 million. Let's dive on into it. ZBC, this is going to be the last one of the night, baby. This is going to be the last altcoin of the night. Before I get out of here, I'm going to dive on into the charts and find the hottest setups in the game, monitor trades and everything, and we're going to be diving on into it. Keep up to date with me on X at BoysCrypto102. Zebek, baby, zooming on out, you do have this clear support line that you've been forming over the past year or so since this project has, this looks like it was This is not on a lot of exchanges. So an exchange listing can lead to a massive run up to the upside. That has happened before. What are you looking up for Zebek right here after this colossal dump that you had the other day on March 24th? Just a couple of days ago, you have been consolidating. This does give me good feelings right here. I just like when things consolidate like this. Why? If we flip this upside down, does this not look like a Bart Simpson to you guys? Bart, you got your Bart and then your Simpson. That looks good. So I would be waiting. I would be looking for Zebek for a reversal to the upside. However, when I'm looking at Zebek right here, that was just speculating on a Bart Simpson pattern. Oftentimes when you get massive dumps, you get a little bit of not a big retracement to the upside. Where would I suspect that next lower high to come in? Because you made a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. You made a lower low, and now you're speculating on a lower high come in. Or you have to, right? You have to. And even if you're bearish on Zebek, you're likely to come up and make that lower high, which would be sitting up here at the 618, which is currently sitting at about 12,530, which is a monumental 50% move from here, is it not? About a 30% move from here for Zebek. Looking good. You're trapped in this area, trading at this highest volume node region of the range since Yeah, since you've been here, this is the highest volume node area on the chart, man. This is what you're looking at here on the 1 hour. On the daily, likely to be above those 2 high volume nodes. This is the biggest area of support you have for Zebek, and it is very, very important. It is critical that you hold these areas. It is critical that you hold these areas. So zooming in on the smaller time frames, you want to play our favorite game, man. If you've ever been here on the channel before, I don't know if you've been here or if you're just hopping on in the chat for the first time, but you want to start playing what's called 200 MA dominoes. You're going to type in the 200 MA here on the moving average ribbon, this red line, and you're going to be looking for Zebek to start taking these over on it one by one. So you got above the 5, you're likely to come test the 7. You got above the 7, you're likely to come and test the 15. You're above the 15 right now. You're looking to come down and test it again. You don't want to lose the 15. You lose the 15, you're going to likely lose the 7, or at least come and test the 7. You're losing the 5. So you're going to ping pong. Right now, you're ping pong in between. You're ping ponging in between the 5-minute and the 15-minute 200 SMA. You don't want to close below the 5-minute because then you're likely to test the 7 or the 15. So these red lines, you ping pong in between a lot of these, and what you want to start doing is closing candles above. Because if you get above the 5, the 7, the 15, the likelihood of coming up to the 30, and the 1, you're below the 1 right now, you get above all those moving averages from the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 15, you're likely to come up and test the 30. Where's the 30? This is what's beautiful about 200 MA dominoes. It's all the way up here at about 1050 or 10.3, which would be a great move to the upside. And I'm also seeing this kind of you do have a little bit of a shoulder, and this is on the 30. Let's look at it on the 3 hour. Zooming on in here. Zooming on in. You do have a little bit. Let's look at it on the 15. Based off of this drop right here, you do have a little bit of a shoulder, a head, and this could be your right shoulder that gets you out of here, man. It can be. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's a trade idea. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I would take your fib from the swing low to swing high to figure out where that right shoulder head is or the tip of the right shoulder is likely to come to from the swing low to the swing high here. You're coming down in that golden pocket. You got the massive bounce. Let's see if the 618 could hold. You're right above 15-minute 200 MA. You're on the crossroads right here of a big move I think is coming for Zebek, whether that's to the downside to test the 786 or to the upside to break this high volume node and fulfill this shoulder, head, right shoulder inverted pattern, right? If we were flipping this upside down, does this not look like the most bear? Would you guys long this? Would anybody long this? You guys zoom on out. Would you guys long this? The shoulder, head, right shoulder vibe going on? I wouldn't unless I got above that 15-minute 200 MA. Same thing whenever you're looking at a short. We don't look for shorts on this channel. We just look for longs. Inverted. We always look for longs on the channel. It's just easier for me and my eyes and my visually stimulated brain to be able to conceptualize shorting just by looking for longs on a chart that is flipped upside down. That allows me to short, baby. That allows me to short. All right, baby. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you jumping on into the chat. The best at doing TA. I really appreciate you doing your work. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. KJB, it's a sleeper. The market goes bullish. Yeah, hey, yeah, and a lot of things that are beaten down massively. A lot of the things that have been beaten down massively have the potential to squeeze to the upside like no other. And wouldn't it catch the market by immaculate surprise to get that monumental squeeze to the upside and everybody caught with their pants down, wishing they got Bitcoin under 100,000, wishing they got some of these hottest projects down here on the month that have been down 71%. You know, any of these big projects here that have been down massively, and you're like, oh my gosh, we're waiting for the discount. A lot of people were. A lot of people are like, oh, I was waiting for a discount. When they pull back, I'm gonna buy. And people just don't do it. People don't have the sack to do it when they're buying in the red. You buy in the fear, and we've been in extreme greed and extreme fear, and we're out of those zones now. You buy in the fear, in my mind, and again, not investment advice, buying in the fear and selling in the greed is one of the most successful strategies you can have in all sorts of investing and trading, right? In all sorts of investing and trading. So I appreciate each and every single one of you being here. I appreciate the compliments. You guys are absolutely awesome. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you. I will see you guys here tomorrow. Tomorrow, baby. Tomorrow night, 9:30 Central, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I appreciate each and every one of you spending your Wednesday night here with me. We're ready to make these gains tomorrow on the initial jobless claims. Keep it on your radar. Until next time, boys, crypto is out, baby. We are out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Enjoy your